Greetings, programs. This is Wretch. Welcome back to Lacuna. And in the last episode, guys, Neil discovered there was some serious identity theft going on. And he followed the trail a little bit more and discovered that the chief of the CDI is actually being targeted in this plot. So we went ahead and let our partner Gary know what was going on. I hope that's the right call. Gary has a very gruff exterior, but I don't think he gives off that partner who's going to turn against you vibe. At least I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt so far. And we'll kind of see. Hopefully that's not going to end up with us being stabbed in the back. But in the meantime, we are outside the Red Herring. We went ahead and paid to get Ed's boat privileges handed back off to him, and he rewarded us with a little bit more information about the shooter. So, we now know that the perp, Diaz, is bald. That conversation that Boyt had with Zora, actually I guess we're talking about Boyt here. Boyt got rid of the Viola case and has a cut arm, and we don't know about the color of his beard. So hopefully we'll figure that out a little bit later. But I love the fact that these kept on changing. So now we really need to pay attention to all the conversations that we're having. So let's go ahead and check out this boat down here and see if we can find any more clues. Today was supposed to be my day off. Alright there, Dante. Not that boat. Oh, the Berta. No one on board. Alrighty. And we got a lot to investigate here. A pocket laser cutting device. Its cuts leave a blue residue. An open first aid kit. Some untangled bandages lie on top of the other contents. Probably to take care of that arm. A sink full of bristly red hair. Looks like our guy shaved his entire beard off. Oh, that is very helpful. Okay. So... blonde, shaved. He did have red hair, but now he is clean shaven with a bald head, so he should stick out like a sore thumb. Or at least a thumb. Is there anything else that we need to see here? Nope. I think we're good. So, anything else we need to look at while we're over here? Doesn't seem like that's the case. I'm just checking for any more smoking locations. Enter the train. Alright. So this was a prime opportunity to get some more information on Boyt. Because if we had probably entered the train, we wouldn't be able to track him down because we wouldn't know that he was clean shaven. And our train has arrived. So that was very much an optional thing, but paid dividends for us. We certainly don't want to cause a intergalactic or interplanetary incident. Wouldn't be international. Well, it kind of would, but larger scale. Uh-oh. Mr. Conrad, this is Felicia, the bartender from Sakura Hotel. Your colleague gave me your cell info. Listen, I want to thank you for not telling anyone what I did. You're not going to snitch on me later, are you? No, you're good. I don't think you knew what you were doing. I didn't know, I promise. Thank you. Listen, I remembered something that might be helpful. The guest you were after, that Diaz guy? I think he had a bruise on his arm. I saw it when he was on his way to the van. His instrument fell down. He rushed to pick it up and he suddenly put his hand on his head. I saw a pretty nasty cut between his wrist and elbow. It looked fresh. Thank you for letting me know. Give me a call if you remember anything else. Well, that kind of would have helped, even if we didn't go over and check the boat. Now, I'm curious how the chief's going to react to this. Like, my conspiracy sense is tingling. Alright, go to our office. Will do. Like, the music is turned all sufficiently epic. Kind of Judge Dreddish. The Stallone version, not the Carl Urban version. Oh, that looked like a good place to have a smoke. Oh, there's news. What do we got? Wealth gap increase shows no sign of stopping. Well, that sounds familiar. A new study at the Institute for Planetary Equality has concluded that both the wealth and income gaps between Gara's rich and poor has further increased since a similar study was published 5 years ago. The disparity between upper and lower layer citizens in Gara's center districts is especially striking. In 1834, ground-level inhabitants made an average approximately 20% of an upper's income, which decreased further to a little over 15% last year. The problem is only amplified by an accelerating gentrification process that is making affordable living space increasingly hard to come by in parts of the lower layers. Those who can afford to stay are often there by choice rather than necessity. A mix of artists, surveillance skeptics, academics, and other small groups for whom lower layers are their preferred living space. This is not to say that life for uppers is always easy. The study has also shown that the increasing disparities in CEO pay to worker pay, 400 to 1, average percentage of income that goes to rent, 40%, and other metrics affect virtually all parts of society. I'm pretty sure you could find a similar article on Google right now. Ooh. Got friends with guns. Ooh. Oh, metal detector. Basement, interrogation, second floor, unit, third floor, chief, fourth floor, conference. Is there anything else we need to look at while we're here? No? You never know. Morning, Conrad. Can't go that way, and doesn't look like we can use the elevator. Nice office space. Can't go up. Hey, Neil. Hey, Saito. It's good to see you. This case really has me on edge. Yeah, me too. The chief wanted me to tell you that we invited 2 special guests. They're waiting for you in the conference room upstairs. Who? Why? The CEOs of Millix and Dyson Enterprises. They had dinner with Banny right before he was shot. Millix and Dyson, as in probably the biggest mining companies in the world? Honestly, you probably don't even need to say mining for that to be accurate. Holy shit. Wish someone had told me earlier. I'm not exactly prepared for this. Sorry, I just got word from the chief. That reminds me, he also wants to talk to you after you've questioned them. Alright. Thanks for letting me know. And we got... Alright, conference room it is. Don't have much of an option, it seems. Do we have like a directory at every floor? That's handy. And I assume we have to go this way. I always want to check and see if there's something hidden, some sort of Easter egg. I know they're busy folk, but they can wait a little bit longer. And door that way. All right. We're good now. Curiosity has been satiated. Good morning, gentlemen. I'm Agent Neil Conrad. Good morning, Mr. Conrad. Abbott Dyson Enterprises. Morning. Dan Kim, Millex. Sorry to keep you waiting. Let's get right to the point then. I have a busy day ahead of me. Yes, of course. The two of you had dinner with Mr. Banny last night, correct? Yes. And you're aware of what happened after he left? We were just told. It's terrible. It's a tragedy. Our upcoming negotiations with Banny were of utmost importance to our relationship with Drovia. Not that you had any real interest in negotiating. What are you implying? I'm not implying anything. I'm saying very clearly that you only stand to gain from this tragedy. With Banny dead, any real hope for Drovian independence goes out the window. Which means we maintain the status quo, where you already have all you want. That's preposterous. Was I or was I not at the negotiating table? If everything had been hunky-dory, I would have stayed on Milan. That doesn't change the fact that the only ones who'll suffer from this will once again be the Drovian people. Oh, come on, as if you give a damn about the Drovian people. The only aspect of Drovian independence you care about is your prospect of selling Palladium to whoever you want. Okay. You're competitors. This is a difficult situation. I get it. I'm mostly interested in last night. Let me think. If you don't mind me asking, why were you at dinner with him in the first place? The mining business is an important pillar of the system-wide economy. We talk to politicians sometimes. So it was a lobbying thing? And was it just the three of you? Just the three of us and our staff. I wouldn't say lobbying necessarily. Really more of a social event. Of course, you sometimes talk business at those. I imagine you do. So were there important business things to talk about? We mostly save those for the trade summit, which I suppose will be cut short now without its protagonist. I see. Did Mr. Banny seem strange last night? Maybe on edge or paranoid? No, but I never met him before, so I wouldn't know what he's normally like. What about you, Mr. Dyson? Well, I knew him quite well. We traveled here from Drovia on the same ship. He behaved normally last night, I would say. I see. Did Mr. Banny have any enemies? Anyone who stands to gain from maintaining the status quo, I suppose. Oh, yeah? Or maybe anyone who was happy that all of Drovia will be really riled up over this. There was no real chance they would have gotten their independence from these negotiations anyway. But maybe now they'll revolt and just take it. You ever thought about that? I don't think much about conspiracy theories, no. Nobody concrete. Maybe someone disgruntled or someone who overtly threatened him? No, but to be fair, veiled threats are much more common in politics anyway. Any veiled threats, then? None that I'm aware of. Me neither. I see. Alright. Thank you for your time. Could you give me your cell contacts? I might need to get back to you in case I have more questions. Why not? Of course. There you go. I wonder if they actually see, like, the energy going through. That's a pretty cool effect in real life. Alright. Time to talk to the chief. Now, out of these two, I actually trust Kim more because he's very just blunt about, you know, he doesn't seem to be, like, buttering people up, if that makes any sense. He's just very matter of fact. Okay. Chief on the 4th floor. Oh, excuse me, 3rd floor. So I assume that's his office there, unless something changed this way.
Agent Conrad, get me pictures of Spider-Man.
Agent Conrad, good morning. Morning, Chief. Saito told me you wanted to talk to me?
I do. Let's not beat around the bush. Agent Long informed me about your suspicion that a hostile power recently tried to get close to me. Do you have any reliable proof of that?
I have some testimonies that point to it. That is, if you were the client after all. I found a girl named Leela tied up in her apartment. She works for the Lotus Escort Agency. She was going to meet a man named Liam Campbell 2 days ago. And that's why I thought,
I'll save you the headache. Yes, I am the client. What makes you think a hostile agent was involved?
Well, it seems like the woman who paid you a visit wasn't the real escort. She had a procedure done to look very similar to her. She also seems to be in contact with Banny's murderer. We have a recording of their conversation. It seems probable that she tried to take advantage of your connection to the escort agency.
I see. Any idea what her objective might be?
Did you notice anything suspicious when you met her?
Nothing comes to mind. She didn't seem particularly interested in my professional life.
Did anything go missing since she visited you?
It sounds like you already have a suspicion. Out with it.
The fake escort talked about some data she stole. I think from you.
Is that what that sniper is going to hand over at Joris Plaza?
Exactly, or Horace Plaza, rather.
I don't have any relevant data at home, except on my cell, of course.
Maybe she got a chance to access your cell without you noticing?
I'll talk about that with my superiors.
I understand. Look, sir, I can't help but notice that you are dissatisfied with my decision to talk to Agent Long about your involvement. Kinda. I admit that I could have called you first, but at the time I thought I was doing the right thing. Agent Long is my immediate superior, so I reported to him first.
Well, this has been a rough night for all of us. One more thing, Conrad. You didn't talk to a girl named Sheila Nowak, did you?
I did. She wanted to know if you were all right. Might want to give her a call.
Is she okay?
Yeah, she's fine. Looks like she finally has all the money she needs to go to university.
That's good to hear. We have to focus on the sniper now. The handover is taking place in less than 3 hours. Let's get down to the mission briefing. They're waiting for us. How was it talking to those two CEOs?
They don't seem to like each other very much.
Yeah, what'd you expect? Top mining guy from Drovia and top mining guy from Gara? Probably mortal enemies.
Well, I expected them to be less open about it.
You'd think that rich and influential folks would be more reserved. But the truth is, many of them are the most brazen, least classy individuals in the system. Yeah, now that we're complete, let's recap what we found out so far.
Our suspect goes by Diaz, but his real name seems to be Boyt, and he's still at large. He shot Banny around 1:39 this morning from the top floor of the Sakura Hotel. Shortly after, he was picked up by an unknown accomplice who dropped him off at the lower layers. That's when he switched to a stolen boat as his second getaway vehicle. He docked it at Matuna Harbor, where his ID was picked up nearby a train station. Then he paid a woman named called Zora a visit. She seemed to be involved in another scheme that might be linked to our case. Earlier this week, she attacked and tied up an escort girl named Leela Clark to temporarily assume her identity. She went to see an important client in her stead and stole some data from him. The sniper convinced her to give him the stick containing that data. He'll pass it on to an unknown third party at Horace Plaza at 8:30. Our plan is to intervene and catch the sniper and his associates red-handed. We're going to place plainclothes agents in the cafes and snipers on the rooftops. The operation will be overseen by Agent Kumar, head of the response team. Conrad and I will be watching from the sidelines, ready to go in if needed. Horace Plaza is a popular place with lots of breakfast joints. It'll be swarming with people. You have to be very careful not to endanger any civilians. Questions? how will we identify the sniper?
Conrad's been collecting data on what he looks like. We have to rely on that.
Do we have any details on the woman the sniper visited?
Not really. She was surprised to see our perp. Seems like the meeting wasn't part of their original plan. We're not sure if he lied to her to get the stick. If so, it's possible he's not planning on taking it to the handover after all. Or at all. Alright then. Conrad, go ahead and submit that sheet on what the sniper looks like. Take your time to go over all the logs and evidence again. We only got one chance to get this right.
Alright. Submit the sheet. Bald with a cut on his arm and a shaved face. I think that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and submit it.
Yes? Alright, I got the sheet from Conrad. Forwarding it to Agent Kuman now. Let's get ready.
And the game is saved. No turning back. I'm looking for someone who's bald. Keep Gara pure. Ooh, the command center. Oh, T-minus 90 seconds. Damn, it's more crowded out there than I expected. I don't think our snipers would get a clear shot. Let's hope we won't need them. Did I ever tell you the story of how I joined the CBI? Yeah, you saved Mayor Glover's life when you were still a policeman. I wasn't on duty that day. When I saw that guy pull out a gun, I didn't hesitate. That's what landed me a job at the CBI. Shit, I was so nervous when the client invited me for an interview. Nothing got me that nervous again in the 15 years since. Until today. If we don't book this guy today, someone will have to take the fall for Banny's murderer. And we're the first in line. We'll find out soon enough. I've always wanted to join the CBI. It seemed like that ship had sailed already. Yet here I am, because I've always been on the side of justice. And that's why we're going to get through this as well. Good things come to good people, huh? It's what they say. Don't they say the road to hell is paved with good intentions? It's bogus. Oh, so that one's bogus. It's bad. Oh. Okay. 7. No exact matches of target description yet. Oh! Person at entrance B looks like a very close match. Copy. Unit Beta, go after him. Head toward the fountain. Gary, don't you swerve me now. Can I get an audio feed? Nah, not close up enough yet. Picking up the pace. Seems to be moving toward the man sitting right ahead. Shaking hands. Very likely to be the accomplice. Alright, Beta, move in and make the arrest. Get the suspect and his accomplice. Be discreet. Don't make more noise than you need to. I think they noticed you. Guy had a red beard, I think. Big guy's getting up. You spooked them. Get a move on. We gotta go, Gary. Other guy's standing up and reaching into his pocket. Uh-oh. Oh, watch out! Gun! Shit. Conrad, follow me. I'm going. I think we found our man. Here's the fountain. We got him. I was going to make the arrest when the big guy jumped out of his chair. He started to make a run for it, and the other one pulled a gun on me. Luckily, I was already close enough to grab it. I think nobody got hurt. Excellent work. Any of the other people running away strike you as suspicious? No. Everybody only started moving when the gun discharged. Good. Let's go ahead and bring him in, see what they have to say. See, Conrad? Good things come to good people. Matching description, Horace Plaza. Ooh.
Once the adrenaline had worn off, the uncomfortable train seat and glaring sunlight were the only things stopping me from falling asleep. My implants had been injecting me with a substance keeping me alert and focused all night, and now I came crashing down hard.
And it burns inside.
I seemed to remember glances from the people around me. I wondered if there was blood on my clothes, but I couldn't be bothered to check. The confrontation at Joris Plaza had been hairier than expected, but catching the sniper and his associate was a huge win.
Still gonna say Horace.
I wondered if this was the beginning of the end of the case, or just its beginning. I finally got up at my stop and left the train, only to suddenly wake up in my seat again and realize it had been a dream. I decided to stand next to the door for the rest of the ride.
Have you guys ever been that tired before? I have. That sucks. Dangerous, too. I was like, he's not standing up. He's gonna stay on the train in perpetuity.
A cool breeze cut into the train cart and through the haze of fatigue when the doors opened. I considered visiting Kat, suddenly feeling an urge to inhale the woody, slightly dusty air in our old apartment. Kat had filled it with what she affectionately called real things. She loved leather, cloth, paper, and plants, and hated the clean metallic surfaces at my apartment. Sometimes I did too.
Alright guys, well it looks like we were able to catch our culprit without anyone dying, so it's kind of the best option that we could have. And Gary didn't swerve us, which is nice. So I think we're going to go ahead and end it here and pick it up next time and see where the story goes, because we just cleared the first chapter. Many more to go, hopefully. If you guys liked the video, please leave a like down below. Subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, that'd be a big help. And we'll see you next time. Later days, everyone.